Hello, my name is Yvonne from the German Projector for Sewing Facebook group. In my videos I explain to you the programs Inkscape and Affinity Designer. I would be happy about a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel to not miss any new videos. You are a designer and need support or help to convert your files, feel free to send me a message via the website below. In this video I'll show you how to create size layers in Affinity Designer version 2. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to write me in the comments. Why are size layers useful? They make it easier to keep track of your work because you can easily hide all layers that are not needed. With version 2 it is also possible in Affinity that all layers are hidden in the PDF and then you only click on the one you need. This is not possible with version 1. But what is not possible, as far as I know, is only possible with Adobe Illustrator. If you create a 0 or a 4 with layers, you have to show or hide the layers for each page in the PDF. If your cut has only black lines, but different line strokes, the easiest way is to create the layers first in Inkscape. There is a function to select by stroke order. I have already inserted the cut, merged the sides and aligned the grain line. You can find the corresponding videos on my channel or in this playlist. To create a layer, you click here on Layer and create new layer. You can also do this with Ctrl Alt and N or select the icon Add Layer on the right side. On the right you will see a new layer. First I copy all objects and put them on the new layer. This makes it sometimes clearer. For this I mark everything with Ctrl and A and either right click and cut or Ctrl and X and then click on layer 1 and paste everything with right click and paste or Ctrl and V on the layer. Now we create the remaining layers. I always insert them all first and then change the label. To do this, double click on the layer and call it label. The next layer I call 110. Then 160 and 122. You do this until you have created all layers. On the right side of layers there are dots. If you click on them, you can show or hide the layers. You can also select several layers and hide them at the same time. The other option is right click and hide others, but this does not work 100% for me. Could be a bug that will be fixed in the next update. I select all layers except layer 1 and hide them. With this you can see better which lines you have already moved. First we have to ungroup the existing groupings. To do this we select everything with Ctrl and A and ungroup them by right click and ungroup all. We now have lines here with different colors. I select a colored line, go to select at the top, select and then stroke color. Now all green lines should be marked. If it doesn't work, you can try it with the full color, and if that doesn't work, unfortunately the colors have not been defined correctly or have not been recognized and you have to move the lines individually. When we have selected the green lines, you either go to Edit and Cut or press the Ctrl and X keys or right click and cut. Then you click on the layer you want to move to. Here layer 110. Now you can just paste them with Ctrl and V or go to Edit and Paste or right click and paste. The objects are not shown because we have hidden the layer. If I show them again, then we'll see the objects. Next I select the red lines, select the same stroke color, Ctrl X to cut, click on the second layer, Ctrl V and then repeat that for the blue lines. Now I can see that all the sizes have been moved to their appropriate layers. If you now have two sizes in the same color, you first move all lines of both sizes into one size layer. Sometimes the lines don't interfere with each other because they are far apart. If you still want to have it correct, you would have to move the lines or objects manually to the correct size layer. If it doesn't mark all the lines of the same color, it's probably because the designer didn't use the same color when they created the pattern, but accidentally used lighter or darker color. This is usually not visible to us, but there are differences in the program. You would then have to move these manually to the layer. If you have a pattern where all lines have the same color, for example black, but different patterns, there is unfortunately no way to filter them out in Affinity Designer. In Inkscape there is this function, therefore one possibility would be to make the division into layers in Inkscape and then open the SVG with Affinity to continue working. If you want to do it in Affinity, you can just select the individual objects or line and manually put them into the size layers. I would start from the outside to the inside. If you click on a curve, you can also hold down the Ctrl-Shift key and select more lines. If you have a lot of small individual lines, it is a consideration to trace a cut. It is usually faster. If there are not too many individual lines, you could also join the lines in this step, since you mark the line parts anyway. Have a look at the corresponding videos on my playlist. I would always move black lines manual because often lines are moved by mistake, which should remain on the label layer, such as grain lines, fold lines, division lines, or even objects lines that are the same in all sizes and were not created for the individual colors. The labeling depends on whether it is real text or whether the text is in curve. If the text is in curve, then you would have to select and move it manually. Should be related easy now though, since most or all of the object lines are already moved to the other layers. If it is text, you can select it with Select, Select Object, and click on one of the three text types. Mostly it is art text. Now all text should be selected. Cut it out with Ctrl and X, click on the label layer and paste with Ctrl and V. There are lines left, like grain lines, fold lines, or other object lines that are the same for all sizes. I move these into the label layer as well, or I still create the lines for each size. When I move them to the label layer, however, I still reinforce the lines so that I don't have to mark them individually again later. I explain how to enlarge the text in the video Strengthen Lines. If you want to have size labels in the size layers, you have to click on them and move them into the individual layers. When you have moved everything into the layers, layer 1 should be empty. This can simply be deleted. We are at the end of this video. I hope it was helpful to you. You can find more videos about Affinity Designer on my channel. Feel free to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I wish you good luck with your projects. See you soon. Bye!